Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to Humble Traders 101. In today's video, I want to show you one of the most misunderstood or neglected trading concepts, the Gann time cycles. In the video, I'll be showing you how time repeats itself in form of price and how we use the concept to capitalize on some very important bottoms, and by now we are really making profits. Alhamdulillah about that. But forget about the complicated mathematics. I'm going to try and break it down in plain English by Allah's grace. And if you are one of those that used to think Gann is complicated, just relax, because after today's video, inshallah, it will all make sense. Let's get into it. Oh my God, viewers, are you seeing what I'm saying? Look at how price just continues skyrocketing in the bullish direction. We have indeed seen a rare stuff in the market. We have seen a rare occurrence in the market. Learn Gann. Learn to see where you are in the entire large picture so that you can protect your capital and also stay on the side of the trend. Today, I want to explain something traders always hear about, but they don't bother to check and see what it entails. Maybe because of its old age. It has been there since 1800s, and many think it's outdated, but it is not, because it actually revolves around the rule of nature. The rule of nature that everything happens in cycles. Okay, so I don't want to complicate the process or confuse you in trying to explain to you this version of Gann that I'm using. But it is very simple. I want to just reveal the truth behind it. Gann techniques are all about timing, you know, like knowing when a trend is likely to slow down, reverse, or accelerate. Just forget about the diagrams, fancy diagrams, all the numbers you see flying around. Gann is just basically about understanding the rhythm of the market. Okay, so in this video, I'm just going to explain to you in the best way possible that I can for you to be able to understand what basically Gann is telling you, and you can maybe find time to study some of Gann, something about Gann, so that you'll be able to feel how I'm feeling or see what I'm seeing in the markets. You know how day and night come in, eh? You know how day and night come in? They come in cycles, like day will give way to the night and night will give way to the day, repeatedly like that. And that's how we age as it continues happening. This also happen, this happen in cycles. They happen in cycles because when day gives way to the night, and then vice versa, the cycle is repeating itself like that. So that's one example for you to know that Gann occurs in nature, but Gann did a handsome work by trying to now show us, how we can recognize these things. I've been reading a lot of these kinds of concepts, but to simplify it for you is what I've been trying to find my way around. But what I intend to do now is just to tell you briefly how I see Gann and how I take it and use it and tweak it to suit my trading style. And what I've done to it, I've tested it over time and it's working. In fact, as you can see on your screen right now, gold is just shooting up and you can see a series of different types of lines. You see horizontal, you see diagonals, you see Fibonacci tools. I used all of these to study the market, and I did that on the 15-minute. That's my time frame of reference. So in this video, I will just continue speaking with you like this and then try to show you wherever possible what I mean by making reference to the charts. Okay, These cycles occur not because they are magic, it's just because of human behavior repeats. Human behavior actually repeats, and that is why you see these cycles repeating in patterns. Okay, this will give way to the next, and then the next, and then the next, over the years, like that, non-stop. Okay, so let me tell you what Gann idea was. He said that the market does not change trend. It doesn't change trend just because of price alone. There is a very important factor that makes price change its direction, and that factor is time. Time is even more important than price itself. Okay, because a series of transactions may be happening within a certain period of time, and they will be happening like that continuously until something happens. And what is that thing? Time. Until it happens, that will cause a change in the behavior of such transactions. This is just normal day-to-day activities that we are always engaging, but we may not pay attention to. But Gann's key idea was that the market does not change trend because of price alone. It changes trend because time has completed. Please take note of this. I intend to sit down, do this video slowly so that I'll be able to remember points that I want to talk about, and I've jotted some down so that I can just refer to them and try and make this video as valuable as possible. Okay? So, and this is the reason why sometimes you may see price climbing up, up, up. It refuses to come back down, even though your RSI, your stochastic, are showing you that price is overbought. But it will not reverse. It will not change direction because it is trying to attain that time. Okay? The time that it is waiting for that cycle to be completed is not reached yet, and that is why that time refuses to reverse. Please try and understand this, what I'm trying to explain to you in this video, and we shall come back to these charts. As it is now, I'm in the period of counting. I'm counting my candles as they are painting on the screen, but we shall come to that very soon and you'll be able to understand. Okay, so Gann noticed that the market often reacts at certain time intervals. For example, if you look at 30 candles, the market reacts at that point. 60 candles, 90 candles, 120, 144 candles. These are very special Gann powerful numbers. He noticed over time due to study, you see. Even since I discovered Gann, I've been in deep study. Anything I see written in his book, I try to widen and expand it as an analytical chemist that I am. My mind is very analytical. I can expand things beyond reasoning sometimes, so that later I can begin to bring the chips back in gradually, and then they all make sense in the end. So Gann noticed these kinds of cycles repeating, after candles paint, and maybe he counts like 30 candles, he sees something happens, and then 60, the same thing, maybe like in multiples like that. So he noticed that the numbers are repeating, and when they repeat, something happens. So the numbers show up because, you know, that they are reflecting the natural market behavior. Like whenever you are in a straight line, you keep going. Even if you are on foot, sometimes you want to rest. You just take a rest, maybe under a tree or something. So it's just the same thing. When we are just buying a commodity and the price keeps going up, or down, 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 at the point we say, no, this commodity is undervalued or overvalued, as the case may be, and we just want to take a rest. Let's revisit a particular price again and start trying to build that price back up. So that's just, part of human behavior when they transact. Traders often, confuse these numbers, and that's what I'm trying to make you see today, that do not confuse, because you confuse yourself by these numbers, because many traders, on YouTube or any online community I try to log on to see or be a part of, I see that they translate these numbers differently and they translate Gann concepts differently, and that's how I developed my own. I made it my style of Gann, and which is, I think, so far the easiest, because I don't think it is preached anywhere on YouTube so far, the way I see Gann and the way I use it. Okay? So, since these people, they hear all the time about 144, 120, they think that these are magic numbers. They are not. They are just natural numbers. They just simply tell you how long, simply tell you how long, it takes, for traders that are trading to push a trend, to a certain level, take their profit, get tired of pushing that price to that level, and then allow it to reverse by selling. You understand me? So I hope you are getting this point now gradually. Okay, so this is what Gann discovered that has been happening, on charts, because it is all governed by human behavior. So you can now, maybe let me try to give you an example that if you as a human, whenever you get tired, you want to rest, isn't it? And when you rest, you try to repeat the process again. You may try to repeat that same process that you've been doing, like a stylishly different way, but you are still essentially doing the same thing. So that's about what Gann has been actually. So basically, his study is about cycles. Whether you're using geometry, whether you're using whatever it is, he respects price, and he takes it to be what? His number one tool, engaging what he respects time. He respects time a lot, and he uses it, to gauge whatever it is that is happening around price when he links it to time. Okay? Another simple idea I would like to bring to your notice concerning this Gann is that if a trend has lasted a very long time and it has traveled a long distance, the market usually corrects. That is, it will pull back, a bit, and then by so doing, it is taking a rest actually. Okay, so I'm telling you all this so that you can begin to interact with your charts differently. Do you see what is happening on my screen right now? There was a time when this account was at $2.62, and immediately we saw that trend because of all these permutations and using trend lines and all. We decided to capitalize on the move, and it is now happening real time. So please give this some time. If you didn't hear me well, maybe repeat that part. I will try and do timestamps so that you'll be able to easily cut off the whatever part you don't want to listen to, and then go straight to the part that interests you so that you get the value that is there. So it is not because a number, it is not because of any number, okay, but because time is there controlling that number, and it forces price to reach exhaustion at some point. If you understand this, it means you are with me and you're following me gradually. Let me try and simplify this concept for you, as I've always been willing to do, but I don't know how until I decided to put these few points down so that I can be speaking as I see them. Okay? So now, let's use gold or Bitcoin as an example, for example, to try and point out what I mean. In my past previous videos, like, you always, just recently you started hearing Gann, Gann, Gann. No, I didn't just introduce Gann. It's because we are at a special position, in the year. That's the end of this 2025, and it was accidentally that I met something very, very fascinating, and I decided to say, okay, let me not do just videos using my SEWA strategy alone without trying to bring to the attention of the people who care to listen, or who care to know that this is happening, so it can help us protect our funds. So by using gold and Bitcoin as an example, in that video you would have seen that I talked on Bitcoin, gold, USDX, USDJPY. Even in another video, I think I spoke on NZDJPY, which has also positioned itself in a very bullish position. So now, if we look at gold, for example, I said on the monthly time frame, I noticed that from this month of December, which month? That's this last candle trading here. That's the month of December. Today is what? December the what? The 12th. So from this month, I counted backwards. and it landed me at a very interesting position, which I saw that it was a low there. I counted up to 120 months and it landed me at a low. And then also tried to say, okay, let me count further to see where I will see the number 144. And that is 12 by 12, okay? That's the square of 12. When you say something like this, it means that when time and price become equal. Anytime you see a square, perfect square like this, then time and price have become equal at that point, and that figure becomes very powerful. So I just, continued out of curiosity to trace it back to what year would I get 144 candles, and I saw that it landed at 2013. What was 2013 for gold and Bitcoin? It was an intermediate high. That high fell to 2015. Okay, and that's from that low of 2015, trading continued until the high of, until this particular low that we are seeing in gold and Bitcoin, which happened in December 2025. Count backwards from 2025 to 2015. That's 10 years, and that's 120 trading candles on monthly. This 120 number figure can happen on any time frame, but for ease of calculation and to show or lay emphasis, or make emphasis, or lay emphasis to the fact that it is a special month, we found it on the monthly. So that makes December to be what? A very, very special month, because both the 144th and 120th candle are really happening in this particular month, because that's where we anchored from. We anchored from here backwards to all those times that we're mentioning right now. And if this happens, it happens rarely, but if it happens, it is powerful. Gann is not the only concept that we use. We use Elliott waves, we use harmonics. But when I want to find out historical facts, where we are in a particular, at a particular point in time, I consult Gann and Elliott waves. And these two people, they have laid the basis for something very, very strange, or positively strange, that if you disturb yourself or compel yourself to learn them, then you would have started seeing the market from a different angle altogether. Whatever strategy that you do will work with them, just like my Stewart strategy is now interwoven with this Gann and Elliott waves. So because we saw that this is happening in the month of December, we made those videos, and then we try to do follow-up videos to tell people, okay, because it is happening in December, you may not see it immediately. You have to go and start searching for what will happen next, since this month is, maybe anticipated, or it is hypothesized to be what? To be special. Then what next do we do? How do we position ourselves? How do you understand the moves happening on our charts? So that's why we took the extra step. We said, okay, since we are waiting for a move back up, let us go to lower time frame, because monthly cannot show you immediate moves. It builds over time. Each candle here is 20 trading days. So because of that, we drop down to 15 minutes. Let's go there. As we were studying on the 15-minute time frame, we saw something equally fascinating, because let me see if I can still identify that candle where I saw the 144 strong number. Let me see. Okay, I think this was it. Look at that 4201.59. This very candle, this has been happening for like 2 or 3 days now since I cited this, and I've uploaded like how many videos on it. But this was the candle that I saw on the 15 minutes, and I traced it backwards. It took me to what? Another fascinating 144, exactly at this low here. So when I saw this low, I became excited. I became fascinated, like, okay, let me place that horizontal line and keep monitoring now what will happen. And that's what I expect you to do whenever you hear there is something special. Drop to the lower time frame, get a comfortable place to trace backward. It's either from low to low or low to high or high to low, whatever you can find, so that you can anchor from that position. And we were lucky to find this candle, so we placed that horizontal line so that we can monitor what happens. So let's see what happened after then. Price continued to trade down, 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 and cleared the bottom of that candle. See, price is now below that red horizontal line, and that horizontal line is showing us the lowest point of that particular important candle on 15 minutes now. That is what the completion of 144 master cycle. So you see how it traded down. Even as it was trading down, what were we doing? We actually were counting how many bars were painting and when it wanted to reverse from there. So what did we do? As we were counting, okay, we also took this range. You see this range? You see from this low here to this high. I'm just letting you into how I trade now. We took that range and we monitor to see how deeply this price will come within this range here, this particular range from this low to this high. And what we saw was immediately price touched the, I think, was it the 61.8 level? Okay, immediately price touched that 61.8 Fibonacci level. Let me place it, make reference to here. See, as price was coming down, see, it came down to the 61.8 level and then reversed sharply, or should I even say violently, back up. We counted the number of candles between that low to the extension that it had up to that 61.8 level, and what we saw was, I think, around 57 or 56 or 58 candles. That's also near another powerful Gann number, which is 60. Okay, um immediately we saw that that happened. We were in this trade, we entered late, we were in this trade. Okay, we just entered late. Immediately we saw that bottom, that retracement came to the 61.8 level of the range. We marked the range of that shift. That shift happened immediately. We monitored that low from the 144 bottom, 44th candle bottom on 15 minutes up to here. It gave us the 61.8 level, and then immediately it hit that 61.8 level, which was this bottom here. It did this powerful or violent move up and created another higher high. So we were in this trade and then it started to move backwards, and because we were studying, we continued to monitor what will happen from there. Okay, and what happened was that immediately it also came to the range that we marked here. Look at our Fibonacci tool, is still there. Immediately it came to that 61.8 level of the new range again. Look at what happened. It hit it the first time. I hope you are seeing my hands, my crosshair. It hit it the first time, rebalanced again the second time on that 61.8 level. Now notice closely, you would have seen that that same position is the 200 EMA, also on that 61.8 level. That's a confluence. It makes that level stronger. So, and look at that horizontal line, that red 4201.59. That is about the low of that 144 candle. The fact that price is now above it and it has rebalanced above it at a key level of the Fibonacci and also on our 200 EMA, it means price doesn't want to go below that level. So from there, we entered here, just right on this candle. I was there. I entered here. We started moving up now. In my calculation, that level will be my anchor position. I will be counting and making reference to that very low here. And how did I do it? Because we have said that Gann works in circles, and I told you in the past, in somewhere in the video, that I also saw a powerful Gann number on 15 minutes. What I did was, how will I work on 15 minutes while I monitor my trades from 1 minute or any other time frame at all? Don't forget, this is a teeny tiny bit considering the 1 month, the monthly time frame signal we already had. This is only a beginning. So we started to say, okay, we have to find our way around it. And I said, okay, I have my way of using Gann again, where I divide my 144 master number into different small microcycles, into smaller microcycles that it will be easier for me to manage on a lower time frame or whatever time frame of reference that I'm using. No, I will show you now how I did it, because this was our first candle. Okay, I said, okay, what I will do is, since I'm monitoring on the 15-minute time frame, I will say, let's go to a calculator. I will say, look at it, I will say 15-minute time frame multiplied by 144. That will give me, this is in minutes, 2160 minutes. Then I will convert this to hour by dividing by 60. That will give me 36 trading hours. And then I will say I want to convert this to a today, to a value in days. Then I say divide by 24. That gives me 1.5, right? And that means it will take me 1.5 days for a whole 144 candle to be painted on 15-minute time frame. Having known that, now it's left for me to now divide the 144 number into different microcycles so that I'll be monitoring the move from there. And it's possible. Let me show you how. You may not find it anywhere. It is just my way of using Gann, and you will see it happening right before your eyes on the charts. Now, I will now say, okay, to divide it into microcycles, I will say the same 144 master number which I spotted on that same 15-minute, I will divide it again by 15, since it's on the 15-minute time frame. See, the other time we multiplied by 15, right? Now we are dividing by 15 just to know how many microcycles are present on that time frame. Now we have 9.6. 9.6 approximately 10. I can be monitoring between 9 and 10 clustered candles on that 15-minute chart, so that anywhere halfway to 10, something may happen. That's at candle number 5 or 6 or 7. And then when 10 completes, there may be a reaction. Or if I'm monitoring 9, sometimes 9 may be a low and a continuation like that. Let's go to the chart so that we can try and see what has been happening. Since we already know we are monitoring 10 sets of candles, and we will do that until we get up to 15 10 sets of candles, so that we will know that we have our what, approximately 144 candles, because you cannot divide into 9.6. 9.6 is a decimal number and we want whole numbers. That's why we approximated to 10, so that we can monitor 15 complete sets of 10 candle bars. So on the 15-minute time frame, let's go to the chart so that I will show you from that our anchor position. I said if this is our first candle here, that's the one after rebalancing, count it with me. Let's see how many candles have we painted in the first in actually the first microcycle. See, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. See how 7 was a pullback, it was a red candle. Okay, now let's continue from 7. Let's continue from 7. We want 10, so we'll go 8 9 10. See this impulsive candle here, this red huge green candle, that is our 10th candle. That means one microcycle is complete. Then let's continue from the next candle. We count both red and green candles, please. So this is another cycle. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. See, 7 again is another pullback candle, no matter how tiny. 8 9 10. This is second cycle, microcycle again, meaning we have a total of 20 candles. And because 20 is also a special Gann number, if you want to know how come it's a special Gann number, you can go and read it up. I will try and drop the link to some of Gann's books, although they are complicated. And if you want me to break it down in my own language, please drop it at the comment section. And if you like already what you are seeing, don't hesitate to drop a like for us. Share our videos widely, because this can serve both novice, intermediate and advanced traders who are always trading without maybe looking at the charts to see in another, maybe another concept. Use another concept to gauge where they are in the market. Thank you for being with us. Let us continue. This is when the second micro cycle completed, that is making 20. Now, the 21st candle started pulling back because we have an important Gann number which is stronger than 10, and so we have this pullback. See how it pulled back? Okay, see how it pulled back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, I told you can alternate between 9 and 10 candles. What did you see happening? That bottom was our ninth candle, not even the 10th. So we could take this to be our ninth candle, which it indeed is our ninth candle. Then we can say this is 10 if we are still considering what? 10 as our micro cycle, as one complete micro cycle. Or we can stop from here and say this is one complete micro cycle. Then we can start here. 1, 2, 3. See how 3 pulled back. 4, 5, 6. 6 pulled back. 7, 8, 9. Okay, another 9. Look at the depth of the pullback. It finished and continued. Maybe. So you can be alternating between 9 and 10. And what happened was that particular 20 microcycles, I mean, two sets of microcycles that gave us the number 20 resulted in this deep pullback. And you will be counting even with the red candles when you are counting your microcycles. All these are involved or included in the microcycle calculation. Then it rebalanced here and continued moving up. Now what I want us to check and see generally how many candles have we painted so far from our first anchor candle, from our first anchor candle. So let's place another trend line there and measure it from there, that bottom there. Here is our trend line. Let's place it there at the bottom. Okay, right there. Then keep dragging it to, and then you can be looking at the top left corner of your screen, and you see the number is changing until we get to the last, or our point of interest. Where is that position of interest? Maybe our trend line shifted. I don't know. Our trend line may have shifted. Let's reduce the number of the lines so that we can count well. Look at it. Let's pick a trend line. Our anchor position is this level here. Don't worry, my lines are shifting. I have to place them back because they are guiding me in calculation. So be looking at your top left corner. Let's see where we will get a 75. I think it's right there on this very green candle. So because 75, this is our 75th candle, and we are trying to trade such that we target where we will get our next strong Gann number, which is 80, 81 and then 90. Now this is 75. Look at how 76 candle retraced. 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. Look at that 80 candle, we had a slight pullback again. 81, that's the square of 9. 9 times 9 is 81. This time around, it gave us an impulsive move up, and then we continue. So our next target is 90. And this was, let's see, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. We're on the 84th candle. We are targeting the 90th candle on the 15 minute, and then we can stay out of the trade to see where that pullback might lead us to, because 90 is another powerful Gann number, which means what? Obstacle, redirection, or change. So we want to wait and see at that point what the market will want to do, or if it wants to pull back, it will pull back and then we can rejoin the trend, or if it wants to change and reverse deeper, then we'll see also by staying aside to watch what happens. And if it wants to redirect, that means after rebalancing it may also uh, continue up. Obstacle means it will hit somewhere, very maybe a resistance or something, as we otherwise can call it, so that it can cause it to shake and rebalance itself, then continue in the way, continue in the way of the trend. So we would like to see what happens around that 90th bar. We are currently at the 83rd bar, I think, or 84th bar, and we shall continue counting. When we reach 90, we shall stop and see what happens. So this is how we use it, and this is the evidence of it happening on the gold chart. I also saw an interesting formation on Bitcoin, and that's why I bought it. Let me show you the demo account. Now this is a real account, it's our strategy account, we value it so much. And just yesterday we were at $2.62 left until we started following that move. And as you can see, look at how we follow with some cents and cents and cents, closing the trade like that until we got to that level where we followed from. And look at what we've been doing since then. We've been trading back the account, and we are currently at a good position, about $16.79, and we still have one position open. We are not opening another position because we are approaching that 90th bar. We don't want to take too much positions for now. And because I said don't focus on the money for now, focus on the process. Now let's look at our demo account, which doesn't require us to change or close any position. We just monitor what is happening, okay? Just yesterday, this position was the whole balance was at 1,200, and here we are now at 1,700, to prove to you that this thing works a lot. And I brought it here to show you the Bitcoin position I opened this Bitcoin position. Immediately I saw that important formation, and it was still falling, but I quickly, because of the way I trust the concept or the strategy, I just pulled the trigger and opened this other position, the topmost position in Bitcoin, the upper position, which is now currently showing $20. Okay. It's because I saw the 144 master cycle at a significant bottom in Bitcoin. Let me just quickly show you. Maybe I can see that formation. I don't intend to go into Bitcoin, not to make the video lengthy, but if you want to see what I saw, then I'll be able to make another video especially for Bitcoin and explain the formation. This was the low I saw Bitcoin at. Look at it. I think I saw Bitcoin at around this low or this low. It was showing 144 exactly when I traced it backwards. And so I decided that since it's showing a low and we are bullish Bitcoin, since we also saw the master cycles on monthly time frame being 120 for 10 years and 144 for 12 years, we saw it also on Bitcoin, which made us to position ourselves to be bullish Bitcoin, bullish gold, then bearish dollar, and bullish NZD, and other what do you call them, foreign currencies. Foreign, what do you call it? Yeah, there are pairs of foreign currencies like NZD, JPY, and all the rest. We are bullish, but specifically NZD, JPY, because I also have a small account. It's a live account where I am trading purely what do you call it, NZD, JPY. As you can see, this position is currently almost yielding profit, and we started at around $5. So we've been closing positions, building this account up, and we are going to leave. Let me tell you one secret: this account doesn't even have a stop loss. Not Don't go, in fact, don't go and trade without a stop loss. I am telling you this just for you to know. I may not have much time to come back and be checking it, and since I trust the process, I just left it to be moving up, um so that I will be monitoring it gradually, like that. So you can see how we use. So at that point, by the time we already position ourselves in a Gann master cycle happening on 15 minutes, the next thing we do is to, before we make that entry, that's where the sewer twist comes in now. The sewer twist will come in at this low here. When we saw that balancing on the 200 EMA and also on the 61.8 level confluence, and also above this red horizontal line, we decided to what? Drop to the 1 minute and take our entry there. And that is by what? Watching a close to come above the 9 period EMA and also wait for a pullback. Let me see, can we see exactly what happened at that point? By placing a horizontal line there, so that you will see how Gann works with sewer strategy. Look at that 4205 level. Let's drop to 1 minute. Look at that 4205 level. Look at it. Look at that 4205 level right here. Let's zoom in. You see, immediately we drop to the lower time frame, we saw this shift back up. Look at how it closed above the 9 period EMA. I'm sorry to say I usually take my entries before the pullback, because sometimes we don't usually get a pullback. We get it higher up like this. Okay. So even if you didn't enter here like me, you would wait for this pullback and then you can join the trade from this position on this last pullback here. And since then we have been in the trade. Alhamdulillah for this eye-opening revelation, and Alhamdulillah for the way we use our concepts. I will take away all the horizontal lines and then I will place them back again so that I can do it more neatly, since everything is shifting away. 15 minutes remains our reference time frame, but coming from a larger monthly signal. If you don't understand any part of what I have just said, I have done a lengthy video trying to explain to you the way I use my Gann concept, and I also try to show you how those relate with, that concept, how it relates with my EMA strategy. And this EMA strategy, you can take entries using either the sewer strategy when you spot exhaustion already, like the entry I just showed you now. That is a fresh entry from the bottom when you buy using sewer strategy. Or supposing you are late and the move has already started, all you need to do is to wait for a pullback, and then you can target the position of entry from lower time frame and be looking at when price trades under the 200 EMA and up to the, maybe expect that pullback to come like up to the 88.6 week level, or anywhere above that. It's fine. You can take your entries around that level, and then that way you join that. We say that you join the trade using the EMA cascading system. And when the cascading is going on, it is going on forever like that. It just keep cascading from one time frame to another, from just the 9 EMA to the crossing of 9 and 21, like that, to the crossing of 9, 21 and 40, then 50, then 200, then impulsive move, then pull back, then rebalancing, and then continuation up again. You still join using EMA cascading. This is how we trade at Humble Traders. If you like what we are giving you, we are bringing value unmixed, unfiltered, the way we do it, even with some distractions and all, we still try to bring you everything unfiltered so that you can see how we see the market. And I want to say that at this point, I think I've done justice to uh, Gann and why we use it and how powerful that tool is. And on the 90th candle, inshallah, we'll be monitoring to see whether we'll get a substantive reaction so that we can report back to you. Until we see in the next video, I wish you all a happy and profitable end of the week. Bismillah, so that we monitor how it happens. Thank you so much and see you next time. Be safe. So I have been looking at different things happening on the chart since we identified that December 2025 candle to be very special in Gann sense. Gann concepts have shown us that when we see a cycle of 120 complete on any chart, then that is an important formation. The same thing with 144 candles. Now, what makes this very month candle very special is the fact that both cycles are completing on the same monthly candle. That means a lot. Whatever we may be thinking about gold, it's time for us to have a rethink, because we were following gold and gold was just climbing up. We didn't know where gold was going, and then so that prompted me to also use another tool to try and see where we are in the market. And alas, I found that discovery. It is so amazing that everything is happening on one monthly candle. That is huge. That is huge, huge. So it is time for us to settle down and see exactly how we can benefit from such occurrence, because it is a kind of once in a lifetime opportunity. At least that is how I see it. Please don't come for me, and whatever I'm saying, try and do your own research, as none of what I'm saying amounts to financial advice. This is purely for educational purposes. I believe many will benefit from what I'm saying, and I found my way around these concepts. I took the Gann concepts and I made it, tweaked it to suit my own trading style. And Gann did a lot of work. He did a lot of work that many are translating today in different ways. When you go on to the YouTube, you want to learn Gann concepts, what you find is different things that end up confusing you. So I did something. I downloaded his book. I went and studied it for some time, and then I picked the part that resonates with me, and that is the part that I always say, I always call it the time cycles. It's not me that gave it that name. It is actually written in Gann's book, that time cycles. Okay, I think there is a book titled that even. I don't know. I'll check my gallery and I'll see among my documents there may be a book like that, and that's where I found all these powerful numbers, and I decided to use them to forecast where we are and where we're headed. The geometry part and where I have to place the big what do you call it? Is it a map or something that will show me different squares of 9? I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to use it. I don't even know how to find it, because some sophisticated softwares developed it these days and it is actually heavily monetized. So I just chose to use these time cycles that are at my disposal, and also the square of 9, and also Gann, and then I also use important dates of the year according to Gann, because Gann believes that the whole year begins in March, not in January. So even as it is now, we are getting closer to a very important month. I mean, a time of the month, which is December the 22nd. It's a full cycle. We're approaching that very date gradually as we are in the month of December, and you can see how that adds to the very special nature of this month's candle. The special situation surrounding it you know becomes stronger with this approaching date, which is December the 22nd. Now we have like 3-4 things in confluence. Now it means that we need to pay attention. But when something like this happens, you don't just go and hit the buy button. You have to hold on and see, okay, since we're in a window of 20 trading days, which is December 2025 monthly candle, let us observe, because this can happen anytime. We may experience a reversal anytime. So this reversal, we hope that it's going up, and that's what we should be looking for, because whatever gold may be doing now, it may just be shaking out orders, clearing liquidity, dipping to demand zone before it finally reverses. So as I was going through my charts, remember what we do here is the CWAS strategy. That is what we teach. But because of this end of the year, we decided to bring in a little of Gann to try and show us or have a feel of where we are in the market, and then we can trade with more calmness than if we didn't know and we're just hitting the buy button like that. So in times like this, we usually employ the Gann concept, the Elliott waves and all, so that we can at least see the bigger picture. So as I was doing the analysis, I decided to go on to the 15-minute chart, because it is popularly known that the institutions also look at the 15-minute a lot. So I decided to do some analysis there, and I ended up seeing like 360 cycles completing on that time frame, and each of them ended up in a low. Each of them ended up in a low, and 360 times 4 amounted to 1440, and that is a very important number. So what I did was I decided to take the 140, that is 1/10 of that, leads us to 144, right? So I decided to use that to map backwards from the current candle on 15 minutes. That was then when I did the markup, and you would see where I arrived at. Going back a little, you would see the first trend line there, the candle it's showing. It is pointing at this candle there. You can see this candle. Where is it? On the 15 minutes, I used trend lines. Look at it, the first trend line there. See that candle that shows, that green candle that shows rejection there, that is the 144th candle, counting from the current candle. Then that was the current candle. Okay, look at it. Just look at the left part, the top left part of the screen. You will see 144. Okay, that was that candle. It was this candle, not the other one. So it means I have to shift one candle backwards from the low there at the end of the trend line. So it was this candle, maybe it shifted. So from there, I was waiting to see what would happen. And what did price do? Price just created a kind of deception, as if it was heading up, and then it rejected downwards and started trading downwards. So my goal was to find out how deeply it wanted to go, and that was why I placed another trend line. I kept counting candles on the same 15 minutes, and believe me, I saw something very fascinating, because immediately that retracement got to the 59th or 60th candle, which was this candle here. Look at it. I don't know. It was the 59th candle, okay? Or precisely, let's say it was 50. No, not. I want to see this bearish candle. I want to base my calculation on this bearish candle. 56, right? 56. Counting backwards from which candle? From this candle. Okay, from this same candle there. So it's 56. So immediately price went there. The next thing it did was it just did a kind of outside day kind of seek and destroy move. It just went violently up, down, and then cleared others above, below, and then headed back up violently, as you can see on the charts right now. So what was I doing? I just saw what was happening and I quickly opened the position. You can see I'm a bit high up here. I didn't bother because it's a strategy account. Excuse me. The most important thing was that, what happened here was just the most important thing. This same candle is closest to the 60, and even the 55 is closer to 55. Another cycle is there, and there is another cycle on this number 60. So give or take, this may be the 60th candle. Okay, and if that's the case, then it means 30 times 2, and 30 is an important Gann number. And if you see it completing on this, if you add 57 to 144, that will take you to something 200 and a bit. I think 202, 203. That's very close to another important Gann number, 216, and that is common for reversal. You see, that this happening on the 15 minutes is really symbolic. And I think I did another computation and I arrived at 15 hours. That is when you calculate, I think, 144 by 15, then divide by 60. I think that will give you 15. That's 15 trading hours. And that's like an intraday kind of completion of cycle. And if it happens, usually it leads to reversal. So many things are happening at the same time. If price should reverse at this point, it means we are headed back up for another 144 master cycle. And we have learned to divide this cycle into different bits. So what we will be doing as price is heading up is to what? Be counting in microcycles. We need to see if you divide, since we are looking at the 144, and when we are looking at the 15-minute time frame, what we'll do is we say 15 times 144. Since that is the master cycle we are looking at, we have 144, 90, we have 45, we have 15. Okay, so we are looking at 144 as the master candle, the most important master number to Gann. So we would say, since we are on the 100, we're on the 15-minute time frame, all we need to do is we just divide 144 by 15, and that will lead us to, I think, around 9.6. What we'll be doing now is to be monitoring every 9 or 10 candles for any kind of pullback, or halfway to that 9 or halfway to 10, we would be seeing different kinds of occurrence at those points, and we'll be counting until we make, like, we need to have if we say 144 divided by 15, you have 9.6, or approximately 10. So you need to have nine set of 9 mini microcycles up to 15 times for you to arrive at 144. And each compartment there, if you want to know what it does, is what you do. Let's hop onto a calculator. Let's look for a calculator. It will be easier. So let's try to say, okay, where is my ordinary calculator? Okay, look at it. We can say 144 times 15 gives us this. Divide by 60, this is in minutes. Divide by 60 to give you in hours. Okay, you have 36 hours. You have 36 hours, not 15, please. That was my mistake. Now, with this 36 hours, if you want to know in days, you divide it by 24, right? By 24. What you have is 1.5 day. So it means that it will take you 1.5 days for you to accomplish what? To accomplish a cycle of 144. That will occur in one day. That is in 36 trading hours. And 144 divided by 15, you see 9.6. It means we shall be monitoring 9 or 10 candles up to 15 times for us to have what? 144 master cycle. When will that happen? When will the 144th candle be painted on the 15-minute time frame? That will be in the next 1.5 day. That is what it means. Okay, you are going to be having a set of uh 9 or 10 candles in microcycles until you paint like times 15, and that will lead us to 144. This may be a bit confusing, but as you try to, this kind of computation was done by me. I never saw anyone do it this way. I never saw anyone on YouTube or online or even reading from Gann himself, but I know he has told us that these things repeat on every time frame. And when I did this computation, I found out amazing detail, and I decided to be using it so I can take this formula to even 1 minute time frame and keep monitoring it from the 1 minute. And on 1 minute, what do? You say 144 times 1, that is 144 minutes. Convert that into hours, divide by 60, right? Then you will have, I think, 2 hours 15 minutes. So every 2 hours 15 minutes, it means you will have a set of 144 cycles being painted on the 1 minute time frame. And at the top of each hour, you would have 60 candles. 60 candles on 1 minute means 60 minutes, right? So that means 60, and that's 1 hour. So at the top of every 60th candle, that means you have 1 hour of trading, and at those points you still get some important formations. So this is how we read price using Gann. I've enjoyed trading with this, using this style for a long time, and I made handsome profits from it. But this is exceptionally important due to the time of the year. And Gann has said that whenever time equals price, then a reversal happens. There is a change in trend. And it is based on that we're expecting to see the trend go back up from here. However it wants to do that, so it's left to price, it's left to the composite man, it's left to whatever is happening in the market that our eyes cannot see. But this is more than fundamentals. It is more than you and me. It is all about the algorithm, the price itself, the structure of price itself, and then time. And as Gann has put it, that time is the most important thing than price. Okay, you have to first of all look at time before you think price. Until time equals price, there is nothing that will happen. Only shakeouts, continuation, deep pullbacks. But when time equals price, then you can witness some kind of a reversal. But if you are counting a cycle and then you are maybe largely bullish or largely bearish, and you keep getting circles of 144 painted on a particular time frame you are monitoring, then it means that there will be deep pullbacks up to like maybe 61.8%, and sometimes even deeper. It all depends on the time frame. The higher the deeper, the higher the time frame, the deeper the pullback. So until you get such deep pullbacks, you don't want to start a new cycle, because you just be buying the dip and losing your money. So you just have to wait for the dip to be over, and then you keep buying up for another fresh cycle. Just like we try to target this low now. We lost some money along the way, since we are just, this month is so important that we were eager to get on the trend, and then we lost some money. But since it's a strategy, I can't believe me, if we have caught it now as we should, then we are going to recover our money in no time. And that is my belief. And I'm not after the money right now, but the process. That is the first thing we should acquire. Let us train our eyes and hands to identify such formations and act on them. Then the money will follow. And inshallah, we are all going to be rich in this business. We are going to find lots of blessed wealth, inshallah, because everything you are doing involves God. I'm not overly religious here, But I'm saying there is a supreme being that oversees everything, and seek help from him whenever you want to succeed in anything. And so I always seek his help, and it is by his special grace that I'm able to see the market from this perspective. And as you can see now, if you didn't know before, my trading style differs from mainstream traders cycle. Okay, I've learned from great people, and now I'm making the system my own. If you know you enjoy this and you find a little value, no matter how small it is, do hit the like button. Call our attention to anything that is still looking or feeling shady to you or gray, so that we can add more flesh to that by Allah's grace. And you can help us also encourage us to be posting more value here by sharing our videos. Watch more to understand the concept, because whatever question you want to ask, until you understand the system of trading, up until when we started talking about Gann, go to the first video on the channel. Listen carefully, because we are not being overly flashy, we are just being natural. We show us your wins, we show you our wins, we show you our losses. That is the way we want to go, because this is the channel that represents our trading diary. It's like we are documenting our trading journey here, but publicly, so that other people may find that our concepts resonate with them, and then they may find value in it and also benefit from it. It is like giving back what Allah has given us to humanity. Thank you very much for staying with Humble Traders, and do not hesitate to call our attention. Like I said, at the comment section, make it busy, call our attention, ask all your questions, be it on Gann. I promise it's not a Gann channel, but Gann became necessary at this time of the year, so that's why we are doing it. So you can ask questions on Gann, and inshallah I'll be able to answer you. And keep on training your eyes and hands, fingers, okay, because they are the ones that pull the trigger. Practice, practice, practice. Do not risk what you cannot lose. And preferably, if you're just coming across this and you want to try, go demo first for at least the first month, then go cent account and then micro account. Gradually you go up. So as you can see from the screen right now, I believe that we are heading to somewhere, and inshallah between today and tomorrow it will be clearer. Are we already going back up, or what are we doing, or are we still clearing liquidity up and down? But inshallah in the end we shall be in this trend by Allah's special grace. Thank you very much, and be safe.